This is Dr. Mary, traditional naturopath. Welcome to today's class on how to make sealed glycerates. This method can be used for any single or combination of herbs. Today I'm showing how to make purple dead nettle in this demo. It is in the mint family. So even though it has that square stalk like mint does, it really has no flavor of mint at all. In fact, it's a bit on the grassy side, much like the difference between mild lettuce and the kale. So it's for those people. This way here, this can be sprinkled on salads. You can eat it like any kind of a spring vegetable. It's highly nutritious. It's full of vitamin C, but the main thing is that it is an astringent. So that's how it works in the body. So when you're having these allergy situations, you're trying to stop up all the sneezing, watery eyes that are occurring. So we're going to just chop up the rest of this and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back and we've packed this jar with fresh, clean purple dead nettle. And so it also has a cousin named stinging nettle. Now, stinging nettle is highly nutritious, but the underside of the leaf has a chemical that can really sting. So that's why it's called stinging nettle. When we make a sealed glycerate, we want to have 70% vegetable glycerin. This is food grade vegetable glycerin, not the stuff you get from the drugstore. And whenever you get something from Frontier Herbs, you can trust it to be food grade. And the portion is 70 glycerin to 30 parts of purified water. You can use spring water or distilled water, it doesn't matter. So I have, instead of doing 70-30, which I find confusing, I do 75% to 1/4. So in this case, I have 1/4 cup of the water, and I'm going to add our vegetable glycerin to this so that we end up with 1 cup of mixture. So there we go. And then we want to take this and stir it around. Now you can see it immediately becomes kind of cloudy and then shortly becomes clear. So when it's totally mixed with the water, it will be all beautifully clear. So it just takes a few seconds here. There we go. Just like miraculous. I love that part of it. It's just so fun. So now once you have your mixture combined, you're going to take that and you're going to pour it over your herbs. Now we're going to just pour it to the top of the herbs, and then we're going to take our stick again and we're going to puncture it down here. And we want to make sure that all of the herbs are saturated, that there's no bubbles. Now it looked like a lot of herbs when I was chopping it, but it only made this one little jar. And that's okay because we don't really need it. It's a medicine and it's not something like you want to make a lot of. So we're going to fill it all the way up now until we reach there. Again, make sure we don't have any bubbles. We're going to close the lid up. And we're even going to do a little shake, 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 just to make sure. Now in the pot, I have water, but you'll notice I have a washcloth. Now you can use a rack, or you can use anything that will keep the jar from sitting directly on the metal of the pot. So this is going to come to a boil. We're going to cover it up and have it boil, and I'll come right back. Okay, welcome back. And now we've removed the jar from the hot water, and you want to make sure that you have some kind of a tool or jar lifter to pull it out of the boiling water. And it has cooled enough that I can touch it, and we're going to unsnap that. Now in here we have a strainer, a pitcher Pyrex container, and I'm going to put a clean but not bleached cloth in my strainer, and that way I can squeeze every bit of goodness out of this mixture. And make sure that we have all the good juices. Now there is another way of doing the sealed glycerate. This, by the way, can be used in a soup or stew to add nutrition to those foods. It is an edible herb. You can eat it raw, you can eat it cooked. It's really very nutritious, full of vitamin C, iron, and so we have squeezed every little bit out of it. Oh, I have mentioned that there is another way that you can do this, and that's by filling the jar with your chopped herb and then topping it with your glycerin and water mixture, shaking it up, and you do this every day for sometimes 4 weeks. That's a lot of work. This is so much simpler. So now we're going to pour it. This is going to fill this jar, and part of it will go into a dropper bottle, but it's much too much to have in a dropper bottle. So we're just going to fill this, and this can be stored for up to 2 years unrefrigerated. And of course you'd want to label it. But the dropper bottle is to be used for, you can put this in your medicine chest, and if you're having problems during allergy season, you simply take it out, take a couple of droppers, and you're ready to go. Now, children can take a sealed glycerate, and you would do it maybe a squirt in some juice or some water and have them drinking that. So you would probably want to dilute it, but there are sometimes you can drop a little bit into their mouth and have them feel a lot better allergy-wise because of all the constituents in the glycerate. It's much milder than alcohol tincture, but an alcohol tincture is not something I like to give children. I don't like to have alcohol tinctures if I can create glycerate. And so there you do. Then you want to make sure that you create a label for the sealed glycerate. And of course this point is not going to be sealed, but it is going to be in these containers so that you know what they are. Then you create a recipe card that tells you how you made it and what is in it, and then match it to the date and the label. So that's a sealed glycerate. I hope that you enjoy this method of creating an herbal glycerate tincture. Thanks for watching.